All right, welcome back everybody. Part 6 of 8, almost to the end. Part 6 of 8 of the beginning yoga series, foundational yoga series. Today we're going to focus on shoulders and how to move them into different positions that we take within yoga. It will be helpful if you have a block. I would recommend anytime you do yoga, if you have a yoga block, bring it to your mat. Have it nearby. You can get them pretty inexpensive online, so go ahead and buy yourself some if you haven't. If not a big deal. You'll just use your imagination a little bit and just pretend you have a block. Right, but just start in a seat, any comfortable seat. Again, I recommend sitting on something to get the hips higher than the knees. Close your eyes and then just start to focus on your ujjayi breath. Inhale through the nose, sigh it out through the nose. And if you're still having problems like understanding the technique of ujjayi and just keep breathing in and out, go back to video 1, revisit part 1, and you can start to refine that technique. But it's just like you're inhaling through the nose, and then on your exhale it's back through the nose, but imagine you're trying to fog up a mirror or sigh out through your nose. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Continue that breath, but just blink your eyes open. So continuing to breathe in and out through the nose. So there's a few common techniques of moving the shoulder blade, right? But what I want to discuss right now is protraction and retraction of your shoulder blades. Now you don't need to remember protraction or retraction. All you need to remember is retraction is you draw your shoulder blades towards each other, right? You squeeze them together, shoulder blades, collarbones broaden, right? So your shoulders broaden. And then there's protraction, which means you pull the shoulder blades away from each other, right? So those are the kind of the key components. When the arm is below the shoulder, so when my arm is here or below her, totally fine to draw the shoulder blades together, draw them down your back. If the arms are overhead, just let the arms rotate up, pull away from each other, reach up. But to kind of understand the protraction, retraction bit, I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see it. Right? Grab your block if you have a block. If you're sitting on your block, just reach your arms forward. Imagine you have a block. And what I want you to do is imagine this is a box of your favorite pizza, right? And keeping the arms straight without moving your torso, bring the box of pizza back to yourself. So just draw your shoulder blades together, right? That's retraction. Again, you don't need to remember that. You just need to know shoulder blades together. And then you're kind of feeling generous and you're looking at your significant other, your friend, and you're going, I should probably pass them the pizza. Without moving the torso, reach the block forward, or the box forward. So you feel the shoulder blades pull away from each other. This is protraction. So plank pose, anytime our arms are overhead, we want this kind of shoulder blades away from each other. Crow pose, which is one of the foundational arm balances, which we are going to get into in this class, right? And then again, be a little selfish, draw the shoulder blades together. That's retraction. And then you're feeling good, you're feeling like, they need some pizza, pass it to them without moving the torso. So shoulder blades together, pizza comes towards you, shoulder blades away, box goes forward. One more time, shoulder blades together, shoulder blades away. Keep them away for a second and just see how much more you can pull your shoulder blades away from your spine and around the side body. And then go ahead and release that. So when you reach the arms overhead, there is some protracting. There's the shoulder blades pulling away from each other, but there's also some lateral rotation, or the shoulder blades come away from the side body and then they lift, right? So the way I want you to understand is when the arms are overhead, don't pull your shoulders down your back. You're going to hear that from yoga teachers. They're going to tell you, pull your shoulders down your back. I want to show you why that's not something you should look at doing. Take your left arm down by your side and pull your left shoulder blade down your back as far as you can. Right, so you feel that shoulder blade drawing down. Keep it pulling down. Try to lift your arm overhead. Right, if you can get your arm all the way overhead, you've cheated. You've let that left shoulder blade lift. But keep pulling the shoulder blade down. Right, you can only take it to about here. Maybe a little bit higher. There's going to be a little bit of a range where you fall into. Go ahead and release that. Shake out that left arm. Now reach your left arm forward. Right, just like we did with the pizza box. Stretch the hand forward without moving the torso. So the shoulder blade, you feel it, pulls around the side body. And then take your hand out just a little bit and then reach the arm up. Right, so we need that shoulder blade to come around the side body, and then we need the outer border, so think outer armpit, to reach up toward the ceiling so we create length. Right, a lot of teachers are going to tell you we need to soften our shoulders down our back when our arms are overhead. That's only partially true. We want the lift of the outer arm, and if we are to soften anything, it's just along the neck. Right, so as we do this with me, take your arms a little bit forward. Right, imagine you have the block or the pizza box. With your shoulder blades, pull them away from each other. Feel your fingertips reach forward. Take your hands a little bit wider. You may even want to turn the thumbs out just a little bit. And then reach the arms up. And then when the arms are up, just let them be up. Lift the outer border, and if you need to soften anything, just along the neck without drawing the outer borders down. Reason we don't want to pull the shoulder blades down. We noticed it here, right? When I'm pulling down, I can't lift my arm up. It's restricting range of motion, and it's going against everything the shoulder blade is designed to do. Shoulder blade needs to come around the side body, and then the shoulder blade needs to lift. So when you reach your arms overhead, right, you don't even need to think about all this technique of what do I do with my shoulder blade. Just reach the arms up. And just leave them up there, right? You're reaching for the top shelf. You got a can of beans way up here. You're not going to reach up and go, oh wait, that's right. My yoga teacher told me I need to pull my shoulders down my back. You don't reach up and then you're like, you can't get it, right? You reach up for it, and you may even try to extend your arm a little bit more. That's how the shoulder is designed to do. Okay? We'll get moving, use the shoulders in the way that they're designed to be used. Come up to all fours. If you're sitting on something, set it off to the side. So find a tabletop position, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And to kind of help us learn that protraction, retraction work, right? So shoulder blades together, shoulder blades away. Just come into a very neutral spine, hug your lower ribs in. And without moving the belly up and down, without moving the low back, just draw your shoulder blades towards each other, right? You kind of feel the shoulder blades kind of come up towards the ears. And then press into your hands, shoulder blades away from each other. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Your chest is going to drop just a little bit. And then press into your hands, shoulder blades away from each other. Shoulder blades together, shoulder blades away. One more time. Shoulder blades together, right? Anytime the arm is below the shoulder, this is perfectly acceptable to do. Press into your hands. This is what you need when you reach the arms overhead, right? And then come back to neutral. A common pose to kind of stretch into the shoulders, especially the lats, this outside part that can restrict the range of motion reaching the arms up. It's called Anahata Asana, or heart melting pose, or commonly referred to a lot of as puppy pose. So what you want to do is keep your knees under your hips relative, right? They can be a little bit forward, a little bit back. And then you just stretch your arms as far forward as possible. Bringing your forehead down to the mat. If it doesn't touch because you're restricted with your range of motion, totally fine. You could also take your forehead to a block if you're feeling plenty of stretch in your shoulders, right? But the lower belly draws in, and just press into your hands, press your chest down towards the floor. And just breathe here for a few moments. There's a lot more technique to all this stuff. But as beginners, it's best just to get familiar with the poses and understand kind of what we're going for, or the ballpark we're going for. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Breath in, breath out. And slowly come forward onto your belly. Take your hands back by your lower ribs, Bhujangasana Cobra. Untuck the toes, press the tops of the feet into the floor, squeeze the quads, feel your kneecaps lift. And then on your inhale, loop your shoulders back, squeeze your elbows, lift your chest. Draw your shoulder blades together, right? Retraction. And then pull the shoulder blades down the back. Imagine like you have jeans on, right? And you're gonna slide your shoulder blades into your back pocket. That's the action. Exhale, forehead down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, shoulder blades together, lift the chest, and then slide your shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, forehead down. Press up to all fours. Find again that neutral spine. So we're not here in cow pose or cat pose. We're not here in cow pose. I got it right the first time. I don't know why I tried to correct myself. But keep this natural curve in your back, right? Not trying to accentuate anything. But from here, just shoulder blades together. And then press into your hands, shoulder blades away from each other. Keep the shoulder blades away from each other. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. And just come into your downward facing dog. And as you come into your downward facing dog, arms are overhead. This is the same position as if I was here and my arms were up here, right? There's no difference here. So with our arm overhead, what do we want? We want lengthening to the outside of the armpit. So this outside area here. So press into your mat as if you're trying to stretch your mat forward. Right, creating length in the sides of your shoulders, your armpits. And then step your right foot forward, bring your left knee down. Bring the hips back over this left knee. Left foot presses in, pulls forward. But just like in class 5 where we were focused on the hips, today we're focused on the shoulders, so I'm not going to do too much of what's going on down here. Reach your arms straight forward. And then take your left arm, cross it underneath your right, bend your elbows, catch opposite shoulders. So this is Gardasana, eagle arms. If this is really nothing for you, just start to reach the hands up toward the ceiling and bring the back of the hands together. If you want more than this, find the wrap. Palms kind of come together, or your left fingers come to your right palm. Right, so this is the final eagle variation, eagle arms, Gardasana arms. Elbows in line with the shoulders. Hands away from the face, and then shoulder blades away from each other. So you should feel a nice stretch in your upper back between your shoulders. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. All right, so this is protraction of the scapula. Shoulder blades are pulling away from each other. One more breath in. And now the opposite action. Keep the elbows bent. Just draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Hug your shoulder blades down your back. Lift your chest up toward the ceiling. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Feel the openness through the chest. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to all fours. And then inhale, shift forward, lower all the way to the floor, come into Sphinx. Inhale into Sphinx pose. Press into your forearms, grip with your fingers, and pull your shoulder blades down your back. Tuck your toes, lift your knees and your hips, come into forearm plank. Press down into your forearms, right? We're not collapsing. Shoulder blades aren't pulling towards each other. Shoulder blades are away from each other, right? Protraction of the shoulder blade. Again, you don't need to remember that. Just remember the action of shoulder blades away from each other. Now bring your right knee down. Turn your right hand in just a little bit toward the center of your mat. And then roll to the outside edge of your left foot. Reach your left arm up toward the ceiling. So it's a modified side plank. Press into your right elbow, hug your elbow towards your right knee. So you feel this right side body, this right lat engage. Right, this will stabilize us in one of the most fundamental arm balances, side plank. So this is a variation, this is a modified forearm side plank with the right knee down. Press into your right forearm, hug the elbow towards your right knee. So you feel that right side body. And then come back to forearm plank, lift your right knee, press into your hands, shoulder blades away from each other. This time turn the left hand in, bring your left knee down. Rotate the right heel down to the floor, right arm up toward the ceiling. Press into your left forearm, hug the elbow towards your left knee. So you feel this left side body. You should start to get more stable as you draw your left elbow towards your left knee. Take one more breath in. Exhale, right hand down, forearm plank, inhale. Knees down, hips down, Sphinx pose. Press into your forearms. Hug the elbows back, but grip with the fingers. Reach back for locust. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift into locust. Reach the fingertips back. Feel the back of your shoulders and the back of your arms. Lift them up just a little bit higher. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you come into downward facing dog, come about halfway between downward facing dog and plank. Press into your hands, feel your shoulder blades pull away from each other, and then press back to downward facing dog. Left leg forward, right knee down. Bring the hips back over this right knee. Press the right foot into the floor, and then reach the arms straight forward. Take your right arm, this time, underneath your left. Bend the elbows, hands to opposite shoulders. Right? If this is enough for you, stay right here. Otherwise, start to reach the hands up toward the ceiling, bring the back of the palms together. If you want more, wrap the right hand around so the right fingers touch the left palm. And then elbows in line with the shoulders. Hands away from the face. Feel your shoulder blades pull away from each other. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. As you find your ujjayi breath, send it to the back of the ribs. So feel your upper back get a little bit broader. One more breath in. And then exhale, opposite action. Keep the elbows bent, shoulder blades together. Shoulder blades a little bit down the back. Chest up just a little bit. Feel the opening through the chest. Deep breath in. Breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, plank. Inhale in plank. Knees down, lower all the way down. Come into Sphinx. Inhale into Sphinx. Press into your hands, shoulder blades down your back. Tuck your toes, round your upper back, forearm plank. Knees and hips lift, but press down, lift up. If you do need to bring your knees down, bring your knees down. Now turn your right hand in toward the center. Roll to the outside edge of your right foot, inside edge of your left foot. If needed, bring that right knee down for that modified side plank we took before. Left arm up toward the ceiling. Press into your forearm, lift your hips up. And then hug your right elbow towards your feet. So you're drawing your elbow down towards your feet. Feel those same muscles kick in. You should feel a little bit more stable. And then left forearm down, forearm plank. Turn your left hand in. Roll to the outside edge of your left foot, inside edge of your right foot, right arm up toward the ceiling. Again, if the left knee needs to come down, bring it down. Press into your left forearm, hug the elbow back. I would recommend if you're struggling up here and your hips are just way down here, bring this knee down, lift the hips up, pull your left elbow back. This will build more strength than just kind of holding on and hoping you hold this pose. Come back to forearm plank. Inhale, knees down, hips down, Sphinx. Take a breath in Sphinx. Exhale, back for locust. Inhale, lift into locust. Shoulder blades together, right? Retraction. Shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up and back. Step it forward, crescent lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Right, so bring the arms back down about shoulder height. Take the hands a little bit wider. Reach the fingertips forward without moving the torso. And then reach the arms up. Outer armpits lift, softening if anything just along the sides. But squeeze your armpits in towards each other. Reach up through the ring fingers. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Reach your left arm behind you. Make a fist, turn the thumb in, and then reach the arm across like you're putting your left fist into your back right pocket. And then once you can't reach it across any further, bend the elbow up your back. Make a fist with your right hand, bend your elbow. Work the fist towards each other. But lower ribs want to press out, draw the lower ribs in. And then right elbow reaches up and wraps forward. Left shoulder blade pulls toward the spine. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more breath in. Hands to the mat, step back, plank. In your plank, right? We don't want shoulder blades together. Press into your hands, shoulder blades away from each other. Take your right hand forward a few inches, or think a hand's distance forward. Wrap your elbow crease forward. Roll to the outside edge of your right foot, bring your right knee down. Maybe even turn the right foot out just a little bit. Left arm up toward the ceiling. Press into your right hand as much as you can. Again, elbow crease wraps forward, inner arm rotates forward toward your thumb. And then your right shoulder blade, pull it down your back. Deep breath in, maybe you lift this left leg. Deep breath out, come into a modified side plank. And then slowly, left foot down, come back to plank. Hands in line with each other, a little bit forward of the shoulder. Press into your hands, pull your shoulder blades away from each other. Bring your left knee down. Left elbow rotates towards your left thumb. Roll to the inside edge of your right foot. Again, maybe this left foot comes a little bit more at an angle. Right arm up toward the ceiling. Press into your left hand, hug your left shoulder blade, so pull your left shoulder blade down your back. Just like we did on our forearm, think about pulling the hand back towards the feet. One more breath in, maybe you lift that right leg. Exhale, right hand down, plank. Inhale in plank, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, step it forward, crescent lunge. Reach the arms forward, reach the arms up. Just get used to that motion, arms forward and up. And then take the arms back down, shoulder height, palms face each other. Without moving the torso, reach the fingertips forward, so shoulder blades away from each other. Turn the hands just up just a little bit, take them out a little bit wider, and then reach the fingertips up. This time, right arm behind you, make a fist. Turn the thumb in towards the ribs, reach it across, and then bend the elbow up the back as far as the hand wants to go, and then hold it there. Left hand makes a fist. Left elbow wraps forward, bend the elbow, elbow up. Right, keep squeezing like you're trying to grab onto your left ear with your bicep. So wrap it in. You're cradling the left side of your head with your left bicep. And then lift the elbow up. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more breath in.
Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank. If you need your knees down for plank, bring your knees down. Right, and just so we know what not to do in plank, draw your shoulder blades towards each other. It's not a terrible thing to do if you're working these scapular push-ups, but then press into your hands, shoulder blades away from each other. By default, this is the alignment. And then right hand forward just a few. Elbow crease wraps towards the thumb. If you need to bring your right knee down, bring your right knee down again, but come to the outside edge of your right foot, inside edge of your left foot. Press into your right hand, lift your hips, left arm up toward the ceiling. And then draw your right shoulder blade down your back. Deep breath in. And then left hand down, find your plank if you need to, knees down, take a breath in, shoulder blades away from each other. And then left hand forward a few, elbow crease wraps forward, roll to the outside edge of the left foot, inside edge of the right foot, reach the right arm up. Take a breath in, pull your left shoulder blade down your back. One more inhale. Right hand down, downward facing dog. Let's get moving just a little bit. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, step or lightly hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, come up at least halfway, shoulder blades together, down your back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. At the very top, lift the outer armpits up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Half salutation. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, outer armpits lift. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Adding in some lunges, stay with the rhythm of breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. If I'm going too fast, go slower, but be consistent. Inhale, halfway lift. Right foot back, knee down. Inhale, arms forward and up, and then lift the outer armpits. Exhale, hands to the mat, plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale to the floor, Sphinx. Inhale and Sphinx, shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, forearm plank. Inhale, press into your forearms. Knees down, hips down, Sphinx pose. Breath in. Exhale, back for locust. Inhale, lift into locust. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, step it forward, left knee down. Inhale, arms forward, arms up. Exhale, hands down, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, lift the outer armpits up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. We'll do left side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, left foot back, knee down. Inhale, arms forward, arms up. Exhale, hands down, step back, plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale, knees down or knees lifted, chaturanga. Shoulder blades together, down your back. And then inhale, upward facing dog. Keep the shoulder blades towards each other. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up. Step it forward, right knee down. Inhale, arms forward, arms up. Exhale, hands down, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up, outer armpits lift. Exhale, hands come to heart center. One Surya Namaskar Asana. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale to the floor, Sphinx. Inhale and Sphinx, shoulder blades towards each other. Exhale, forearm plank. Shoulder blades away from each other. Inhale. Knees down, hips down. Sphinx. Exhale, back for locust. Inhale, lift into locust. Shoulder blades together. Down your back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or lightly hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, chest forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Take it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Inhale in plank, press into your hands. Downward facing dog, exhale. Right, shoulder blades away from each other, then press into your hands, lengthen the outside of your armpits. Your arms are over your head. Right foot forward, warrior two. Come into Virabhadrasana 2, heel alignment, right? We know the setup from previous videos, reach the arms wide. Now bring the arms straight out from the shoulder, palms face each other, reach the arms up toward the ceiling. Keep the arms in this position just from the wrists, rotate the palms forward, make fist. And then take an imaginary pull-up, elbows slightly below the shoulder, shoulder blades together, hug them down your back. Keep this power, straighten out the arms. Deep breath in. And then right hand down, side angle, Parsvakonasana. Press the right forearm into the right leg. So you feel your inner thigh engage as you press the leg back into the arm. Left arm up toward the ceiling. Turn the thumb towards your feet, towards your back foot. Right, so palm facing behind you. And then bend your elbow. Bring your hand across your body towards your right hip. Right, so you're in a half bind. Maybe you work that hand a little bit further. Maybe you touch the right thigh, right hip, doesn't matter. But from here, just kind of roll your entire chest open. Not the elbow back. Keep the elbow into the side ribs. Right? A lot of times people just want to reach the elbow back to twist. Keep the arm, the elbow to the side body. Rotate the entire rib cage until it stops. One more breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, press into your hands, lengthen the outside of your armpits. Step your left foot forward, warrior two. Reach the arms apart, so shoulder blades reaching away from each other as you reach the arms further away. And then reach the arms straight forward out of the shoulder, palms face each other. Lift the arms up. Keep the arms in the same position, just from the wrist, rotate the palms forward. Make fists, and then an imaginary pull-up. Draw your elbows slightly lower than your shoulders. Feel the power in the back. Straighten out the arms. Spread the fingers wide. One more breath in. Side angle, left hand down to the leg, to the thigh. Press the thigh into the arm. Feel your inner thigh muscles. We're going to need that for a crow pose here in a second. Rotate your right thumb towards the back of the room, so palm facing behind you. And then bend your elbow, reach your hand across the body. Right, maybe you grab the hip, maybe you don't. But keep the right elbow into the ribs. Rotate the entire rib cage open. Right, this is a common half bind is what it'll be called a lot in class. You take a half bind with this top arm. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands down, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Breath out. And then walk your feet all the way to the top of your mat. Come down onto your back. So we'll work 3 different steps to get into Bakasana Crow, which is the outside of side plank. Side plank is an arm balance. This is probably the most fundamental arm balance in terms of both feet off the floor arm balances. So come onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. Keep the inside edges of your feet together. Just take your knees wide. And then from here, lift your shoulder blades off the floor. Reach your arms through, your forearms on top of your shins. Palms face forward like you're trying to press the wall in front of you. Draw your knees in towards your armpits. Keep your shoulders off the floor. Squeeze the legs into the arms into legs. So squeeze the legs as much as you can into the arms so you feel your inner thigh muscles. Lift your shoulders up a little bit higher. Lift your knees up, your tailbone up a little bit higher. Come into a little tiny ball. This is the shape of Bakasana Crow. Right? We can find the shape, use the core to find it rather than having a balance on our hands, so you get all the benefits of it. And then slowly go ahead and release. Arms long, legs long. Find yourself in a rack stretch. Okay. So that's crow pose on our back. You can stay with that. The next progression up the ladder is from a seat. So draw your knees, so take your feet close to your hips, take your knees wide, and then bring your arms, get your armpits as close to your inner knees as possible, and then just kind of walk the feet back, lift up into crow. But we're not trying to draw our shoulder blades towards each other in crow. We want shoulder blades away from each other. All right, so we want our downward facing dog hands or our plank hands here, right? Draw the knees in towards the armpits, squeeze the knees into the armpits, press the arms into the legs. If you had trouble getting up, right, what you can do is just lift the feet up with your hands, take the knees wide, and then reach the arms, hit through here. But you're trying to scoop your belly in so you can find this rounding of your upper back. But squeeze the legs in, but maintain the arms pressing out into the legs so you feel the outside of your shoulders and the inside of your legs. Go ahead and release that. Right, so that's stopping point number 2. So we have it on our back. We found it in our seat. Now it's to find it on our hands, right? But there still will be stopping points as we go. So to set up for this, right? Take your big toes, inside edges of your feet together. You can take your feet a little bit wider if that's more comfortable for you. And then just try to get your armpits as close to your inner knees as possible. So like you're trying to come into a really tight little ball. Take your elbows, flare them out so you feel that connection of legs to arms. And then hands down, not underneath the shoulders. Take your hands as far forward as possible while maintaining the legs to arm connection. Right, elbow creases wrap forward, so the elbows pull towards each other. Squeeze the legs into the arms. And then from here, all I want you to do, lift your hips up as high as you can. Don't look down, look as far forward as possible, right? You want to see where you're flying. And then from here, just lift your heels as high as you can, so you're leaning forward. Keep leaning forward, thumbs pull towards each other, round your upper back, squeeze your legs in your arms, and just pick up your right foot. This is stopping point number 2. I mean, whatever number we're at. I don't remember what number we're at. And then you can set the right foot down. Lift the left foot. Right? This is another stopping point. You can stay here. Otherwise, lean a little bit more forward until that back foot picks up. But it's perfectly fine to just be here. It's perfectly fine to just be here. It's perfectly fine to just be here. It's perfectly fine to be here. It's perfectly fine to be here, right? Any version of the pose, any degree of the pose is still the pose. It's not the end result, right? It's the action, it's the effort, it's the being in control of yourself and not forcing yourself into something you're not ready for, or it's, I'm feeling like I want to push myself a little bit, I'm going to go a little bit further. Doesn't matter what happens when you make that decision, but it's about listening to yourself, right? So in crow, what happens a lot of times is people, they don't lean enough forward. They get scared because what do they think is going to happen? They're going to go smashing down on their face, right? You might, I'll just be honest, you might fall right on your face. Not going to hurt too bad, right? It shouldn't hurt at all. But what you need to do is, if you can see here, as I lift up, where is my heaviest part? It is my butt and my legs, right? So in order to find a balancing point, I need to get half of my weight past my hands or my wrists so I can counter the weight of my butt. People don't lean far enough forward. Another thing is they look straight down. You look straight down, your butt also looks straight down, and you are going down, right? So we want to make sure we look forward and we lift up and then lean forward and down. It's called an arm balance, which means we need to find the balancing point. We don't need to be super strong. They don't call them arm strengths, right? They're arm balances. So you need to be smarter, not stronger. So it's about, can I get most of my weight forward so I counter this heaviness back here, right? But don't beat yourself up if you didn't get it. It's a hard pose, right? Come all the way down onto your belly. We'll work a belly down back bend, right? Take your left forearm parallel to the top of your mat, left elbow underneath your left shoulder. Bend your right knee, reach back for your right foot with your right hand. And then from here, just start to kick up toward the ceiling. All right, so this is a one-sided bow pose. All right, just keep kicking up toward the ceiling. Press into your left hand so you lift your chest. And then go ahead and release that switch. Right elbow underneath the right shoulder. Right forearm parallel, hand across the mat. Reach your left hand back. Press into your forearm, lift up, and then kick up toward the ceiling. Don't collapse in the right shoulder. Press down. Right, try to get your left knee. It doesn't matter if the knee's here, as long as you're trying to get the knee off. Right, if you're up here and you're just kind of not adding much effort, it's not really doing anything for you. So kick up toward the ceiling. Doesn't matter how far it goes, it's the action. And then go ahead and release. We're gonna take 6 breaths in that. You can go back to just working one side at a time. After 3 breaths, switch here, or reach your hands back, grab your feet, both feet, right? And if you need to grab your foot and need to take the knee out here to grab the foot, totally fine. And then just work the knee back to center as much as you can. But it's totally fine if you have to bring your knees wide in order to grab the foot. Right, so let's all do that. Take your left knee out to the left. Grab the foot. And then work the knee just back as far as you can. Doesn't need to go all the way back there. Take your right knee out to your right. Grab the foot. Take both knees a little bit closer together. They don't need to be hip width or narrower. They can be wherever you can get them into. Take a breath in. And then on your exhale, just like we did on one side, but we're doing it with both, kick up toward the ceiling. So the glutes engaging, feet are lifting up toward the ceiling, toes are spreading wide, belly's drawing in, and then with the hands, pull on the feet. Right, if you're doing one side, go ahead and switch now. If you need to release, release, but try to hold this for just one more breath. And then slowly release. Keep your knees bent and just windshield wiper your feet side to side. Maybe you stack your hands underneath your forehead. And then from here, press back to child's pose. Right, my preference, knees hip width distance or narrower, but if you like them wide, take them wide and just explore. And then slowly make your way up, lean onto one of your hips, extend your legs forward, come all the way down to your back, draw your right knee into your chest, left leg long to the floor. Take a breath in. And then right leg long, left knee draws in, squeeze the left knee in. And then bring your right knee in to meet it, squeeze both knees in. Set your feet down, press into your feet, shift your hips just a little bit to the right. Drop both knees to the left. Left hand to the right thigh, right arm rolls open, or you can have your left hand here not grabbing the thigh. But just a gentle twist to end class. And then come back to center. Both knees draw in, reset. And then set your feet down, shift your hips a little to the left, both knees to the right. Left arm out to the left. You can gaze over your left shoulder, you can gaze straight up toward the ceiling. Just wherever you're at, breathe. Breath in, breath out. And then come back to center. Extend your legs long. Extend your arms long by your sides. Palms face up. Let your feet fall out wide. Close your eyes, come into Shavasana. Let tension in the body leave. And then slowly start to roll onto your right side. With as little effort as possible, please make your way to a comfortable seat towards the front, eyes closed. Bring your hands together in prayer position at heart center. Slide your thumbs towards your forehead, towards your third eye. Take a final deep breath in. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Right, we got a lot of good stuff in today. If you struggle with it, go back through it, right? That's the benefit, that's the beauty of having these videos, is that you can watch them as many times as you want until you get the technique to stick. And it's also nice to revisit as you progress in your practice. But the key things to remember for this class, right? Retraction, shoulder blades together. Protraction, shoulder blades away from each other. When the arms are overhead, we want the outer border of the armpit to lift up, fingertips to reach up. If we need to soften something, just soften along the neck, right? But without dropping the shoulder. Never, 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 when your arm's overhead, pull your shoulder blades down your back, right? And with the arm balances, don't be frustrated. It's a practice. It's not a perfection. It's not a show. It's not a performance. It is about showing up for yourself,
putting in the work, seeing the results of your work, but not judging the results of your work, right? It is an experience, it is not a performance, okay? Have a great day. If you haven't already, subscribe. One more week left in this program, 2 classes, parts 7 and 8 coming at you next week. Have a great, great, great day, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.